I've been on full cam this whole time. Wait, that's so embarrassing. Well, I guess we're starting now then. I was just typing some stuff. I was messaging in a bunch of the um Discord servers that I'm a part of, letting everybody know that I'm streaming. How long have I been on my full cam for? That's crazy. I'm sorry, gang. How's everyone doing though? Hold on, let me just put this down. How are people going? I hope you are all going well. I've been. What have I been up to? My dad's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Michael. He's 64, I think. 64. He's an old guy, old man. Love him to bits though. And just kind of been lounging around for a little bit. Been prepping some stuff for my new flat in Wellington. So I moved down in about 9 days, so less than a week. So I'm looking forward to that. 9 days. Yeah. And then what else have I been up to? I've just been doing a lot of development on Poastal, honestly. Just been doing some good work in that. So I'm really looking forward to. I was kind of off it for a little bit, just because I wasn't like in the flow of things. You know what I mean? But now that I'm kind of back into the motions of it, I'm feeling good about it and excited about continuing forward. So, Major Violet, hello. You're an early bird. So yeah, I've just been doing a lot of coastal development and very, very exciting stuff. So I am looking forward to doing more of that and trying to see where it's going to go. There's a lot of so I'm interested to kind of see what pans out and that kind of thing. But this stream, once again, I was trying to get Expedition 33 downloaded. It just fucking hates my computer for some reason. It refuses to download. I've tried to download it like 5 times now. It gets to like 15% and then just gives up, which isn't awesome. So I've decided we're just going to do a Postal stream. Maybe if I get bored, we can do some. We can play some games, play some more haste, or I don't know, something like that. But until then, we're just going to do some game development, and hopefully, you guys will be able to give me your advice and some of your design eyes to have your hand in development. But I think without further ado, I think we're just going to crack into it. I don't have much to say. I usually have a little bit to chat about in my my ramble when we start, but I'm kind of lost for words. So I think we might just crack into it. And I'll give you a little showcase of what I've been working on, and then we'll start with my issues, my problems that I'm running into at the moment. We've got a few goals that I've written down for this stream to try and achieve, and then we'll just see where we go from there. So let's crack into it. Show you what we do. Where are we? So this is Postal. This is how it's looking so far. I've been working on the shaders for it to make it look all cool and awesome. So I've been working on the cell shader look, so getting those shadows and the lighting for it looking all swag. The lighting on the character and the plane will they will have different lighting, so it actually won't be, because at the moment it's a bit like green and a bit dark. So I'll actually do a separate light on the character so that they're always in light, because you can see like when you get in the shadows it gets quite dark and that's not pretty. But I want everything else to have that same shading, so it looks all pretty. Some of the assets are just from an asset pack, so I've put on this pixelation shader, which I'm not sure how well it's coming through in the stream. Let me know if you can see. I might crank it up just for the sake of it. But basically, it's got a very, very like a very small pixelation effect on it, but I think it looks really nice. But it doesn't work very well on the like smaller, like more busier assets. So like these plants and stuff, as you can see when you get closer in, it's really messy and it looks really ugly. And so that's not necessarily an issue with the shader. It's just that we'll have to avoid small meshes with like lots of detail in it. So, and because it's just an asset pack, it's fine. Like we'll just have to go like be more selective with the assets that we use. Um, because ideally would want our own stuff anyway. But I think it looks really nice. I've also done. You can see on the edge of the shadows here, it's got a very slight like warmer glow to it. So you can see like look at the right side of this. I don't know why I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it, but like down here, you can see it's got like this slightly warm glow, and that's because like the way that light works, I don't really get it, but like on the cusp of shadows, it's like especially in like when it's not like directly day, it's more kind of sunset sunrise kind of thing. It really like accentuates those shadows, and then but the shadows themselves have a little bit more of a blue tone, and then the darker the shadow is, it gets kind of purple. So it goes like purple, blue, orange, and then a pale light. And that just gives the shadows and the lighting just a little bit more depth. And I can show you when I get into the things of what we're going to be doing. I can show you some of the tricks that I use, because I've been doing the shaded stuff for in Poastal for so long, and I've been learning a lot of really cool little tips and tricks. That if you are interested in that kind of stuff, it is really interesting. Otherwise, you can have a free little lesson about game development stuff and things you need to consider, because it's I find it really interesting. And if I can explain it to somebody and they also find it interesting, somebody who's like not in this thing, if I can explain it to you, it helps me know that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I guess you guys can be the little what's it called? Like test to see if I actually know what I'm talking about. Got my water here to hydrate. No snacks though. I had a kipper for breakfast, kipper and scrambled eggs. That was rather lovely. Also, the queuing up is for the background music is in, so you can queue up some stuff. But if you do queue up anything fuck ass, looking at you, Major Violet, I will skip immediately. Okay, let me show you what I have been doing. So first things first, I will go over the cell shading thing that I've been working on and how it all works, because I find it interesting, and you actually don't get a say in it, so you will be listening to me talk about my work. So, sorry, not sorry. Okay, so this, I can get rid of all of this, actually. That's all. Yeah. So this is the cell shading thing. And, from the untrained eye, you might look at this and be like, Curtis, what the hell am I looking at? This is crazy, stupid, insane. And you wouldn't be wrong, but you can actually break it down really easily. Basically, all that you are doing in materials and post-processing and any of this shader stuff, and when I say shader, that refers to like the physical look of the game. You're on a 20 watch streak, Major Violet. That's crazy. That is insane. That's really cool. We'll have to do like some kind of celebration. If you like a big. I mean, 20 is a big number. Can I do something with my Mungus box? No. Oh wait. I'm gonna see if I can do a little thing. I can't. Oh well. Shader just refers to anything the way that like something physically looks. So like a material are applied to objects, and a post-processing effect basically is like a filter that you apply to the image after everything else. But in the post-processing, you have access to. Hold on, let me go big screen. You have access to a lot of different render buffers, which are basically different ways that the computer can see things that are happening in that you're seeing. So, for example, if I make this big, oh, hello, oh man. So, for example, if we go up to here, these are all of our different buffers. So, if I go into buffer visualization, so we've got just everything. If I go into base color, this is all of just like no lighting information, just the base color of things. We've also got one that I really like, scene depth. So ignore the sky, that's crazy. But this shows you how far away the object is from the camera, which is really cool. And that lets you do stuff like outlines. So you could be like, okay, when there's an outline, when there is a difference of this large, then change this color of the pixel to whatever you want the outline to be. You've also got things like we want to have all of these. Oh, world normal. Hello. I think okay. It might not show because we actually already are applying our post-processing effect. But regardless, you get the point. That's what a shader is and what post-processing is. So if I pull up my thing here again, so what our lovely shader does is it happens in a few different stages. So we have cell shading, then we have a faked fog, then we have outlines, and then we have this occlusion mask, which actually should be in the other thing, but that's okay. So it's basically just cell shading and then the outlines. And then all that you're doing is you are just creating a mask. So you're creating like a black and white value that you can then use. So these things called lerps. So that is linearly interpolate. So all that is, if I pull up my beautiful paint here, like a huge portion of game development is literally just doing 0 to 1 values, right? So if let me get my brush in white, please. Okay, so so if this is 0 and this is 1, and then this will be option A, and then this will be option B, right? And then I can input a mask, which will just be like an image that that has like a black and white thing on it, so it could just be like a circle like this, right? So I can input this image, and then when the pixel is white, when it's 1, output option B, and then when the pixel is black or 0, output option A, and then everything in between you can smoothly interpolate between the two. So that means that you could have you can create all these masks, and then you can choose what things get shown when it's black and then when it's white. So so let's do a really simple version of it. If I get the scene texture, and then I'm going to change it to, oh wait, sorry, I gotta pull out details panel, I think. Oh no, it's just sorry. I'm actually professional. We're gonna change this to where's scene depth? Scene depth. Okay, cool. So if I plug this in here and just apply it, see that it's really white. So if I'm just going to saturate it, which clamps it to a 0 to 1 value, you can see we've got a little bit more stuff there. And then I will also divide it by like or something. 50, 30. Will that give us the value? Okay, guys, I'm actually really smart and intelligent. Just bear with me, chat. Where the fuck is my scene? You're embarrassing me. Come on, man. Where's my scene depth? Okay, we're just gonna do this. Okay. Depth mask. There we go. Okay, so you can see now we've got this depth mask. So things that are close to us are black, things that are far away are white. So now that we've got this black and white mask, we can literally just, if we just go to use a lerp and plug that into the black and white mask, and output that. Then let's just get two colors. We'll do a teal color, and let's do a purple. Okay, so when it's black, do teal, and when it's white, do purple. Then apply that. Now you can see we've got this as using the depth, we can then interpolate between these two colors. And that is literally all that you are doing in post-processing stuff. You're just interpolating between two things. And that's really, really cool. And I'll show you what I'm using that for. So the first thing, we will do the cell shading. So if I remove the outlines, let's do it. No, okay, I'll need to pull up the instance of it. Give me one sec, gang. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the outline and the pixel. Oh, yeah. Details. Here we go. And then let's grab the post-processing effects. I put the pixelation on a different thing just because I like the look of it. So you can see this is just the cell shading information. So you see we get these nice clean shadows. There's no gradients. Everything is just either in shadow or in light. If I go into here, so let's do a little run through of what the cell shading looks like. So I've grouped them all up nicely here. I'm really smart and intelligent. Cell shading. So this is the whole cell shading. So it's only a couple nodes, but these nodes here are like reroute nodes. So I can basically name something and then plug it in later. So all we're doing is we're getting the base color. So that's that one that I showed you before, which is just the coloring information. So it doesn't have any light information. And then I've created this thing called scene luminance, which is all of the lighting information in the scene without any color. So it's these two things. So I can show you what that looks like. If I go over here and then I plug in scene luminance, plug that into it there. This is all of the lighting information, right? So this is when it's in the and because the sun is the only light we have, this works really well. If you have other lights in the scene and if they have colors, then it gets a bit messy because I'm only taking into consideration one light source. But it's fine for us because our game, our lighting won't ever be changing, just with this version of it at least. It'll be just one light source, and that kind of does the job for most of the things anyway. So it's actually like we don't need all of that additional consideration for other light, but that's fine. So this is the lighting information for that, and the way that I get this, this is from there's a tutorial. I forget which one though. We get the basically everything unprocessed, and then the diffuse color, and then we desaturate them both and divide them, and then that'll give us a scene luminance. So I'll show you. We've got input 0. So it's this. This is what the game looks like with no post-processing effects. So it looks pretty ugly in my opinion. And then we get the diffuse color, which is just everything like really flat, like this. And then we divide them together, and that gives us the scene luminance. Because you're basically, what is the normal image, so with all of the lighting and everything, and then you just take out all of the colors basically, and then what you're left with is just the lighting, and then that gives us scene luminance, which is like this. So now we have our black and white mask. We can then start figuring out doing all of our cell shading calculations, which isn't much really. So let's go over here. We've got our base color and our scene luminance. And I learned a really cool thing from what I was watching a tutorial. Which one was it? Ooh, I can't remember now. But oh, it was found a PDF, um, and they were talking about this really cool like watercolor effect. But they were using because sometimes if you're doing cell shading, like basically what you're doing is if a value is above this thing, then set it to this. If it's below this thing, set it to that. So that means that you have a very hard threshold for all of your things. Um, but then if you want to do that, you like every time you want to add like another band of thing. Let me pull up my thing. If I go into cell shading, so this here you go. So as you can see here, this is like a single band of shading, right? That's like a single thing. If I wanted to add more bands, then I'd have to do more if statements, and then it gets really messy and really complicated, and it's really annoying and a pain in the ass. And I saw this. I wish that I had it. I can't remember what it was. Where they used uh, color curves, which is really interesting, and it's where you get something like this. So if you're looking at this, you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? It's just a gradient, right? So if you ever use like Photoshop or something, and if you've used a gradient map, it just maps the the brightest color in the scene with your thing over in this one, and then the darkest color in the scene to this thing over in 0. And you can just add in, see how it's like these steps? So you can just add in as many as you want. So I can just add in another one here, and then add another step. And now we've just got like another partition to the cell shading. And that's really easy. And it also lets us do something cool where we can then add in colors to them as well. So you can do like color grading, I suppose, within the within this thing here, and you can blend them and make them look all nice and lovely and that kind of thing. So if I go back into, where is the shader? Here. Okay, and then if I plug this back in, you can see that this is our scene here. And then if I adjust this, wait, I'll do. So there you go. Now I'm changing the color of the darkest shadows in here, which looks crazy. But that just lets us have a lot more control over the scene and just make it look all pretty. I think I'm actually gonna bump the saturation down a little bit on this. Not gonna lie. If it's completely saturated, it's like I that's like, oh, it's completely black shadows. I want like a little bit of color in it. You know what I'm saying? Where did I have it at? That was the default. Maybe just bump it up a little bit. I want like a little bit of blue, but maybe it was just like a little bit too much blue. You know what I'm saying? That's completely white. I think I'll just leave it like that. Actually, I'll just leave it. That's fine. But yes, that is the cell shading. That's basically the whole thing to it. It's really, really simple. Yeah, sorry, I'm messing around now. That's the cell shading. Awesome. Cool. Now, and then, so you got the cell shading, and then you have the distance fog. So that is really simple. It's just a depth fog mask. So it's just that basically the same thing that I told you before with the pink thingy. So you can see as I get further away, we lose color from it, and it gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And now it's basically like fake fog because we don't have because of the way that we're doing these cell shading, you can't have actual like atmospheric fog, and it's kind of a you don't really need it anyway. It's kind of overkill, but we can just fake fog and like atmospheric density by just like removing the color of stuff that are further away, um, and making it look like that. I think even we can even make it a bit more because currently if we pull up, so this here is our instance. So all these like green nodes here and these ones, they're all parameters that I can then adjust inside of this thing, the instance of it. So these are all of our controls for it. And I've actually, oh, okay, it can't be fully. Oh, look at the sky. So much. I think, okay, that is actually really interesting because we should actually do this same calculation here for the depth fog mask because I don't want to um, lose lighting information in the sky because the sky is really pretty. So we want when it is. Oh, what am I doing? Let's go back over here. Oh yeah, okay. So the bottom is 0, 0. Then that one there. If I apply that, boom! Now we got the sky back. Okay, awesome. That looks much better. Okay, good. Let's go back to this here, and then yeah, can I just crank that up? Hey, wait, I thought do I need to make that deeper? Yeah. Oh shit. Why? I just want to cut out the sky. I don't want it to affect this at all. Um, Let me see this. Is it actually doing it properly? Yeah, see, that's not even. Okay, wait, I'm just going to get this. I'm going to create another mask here as well. Um, I am going to multiply it by like 1,000 and then saturate. What saturate does is it just brings it into a 0 to 1 range. So it means that you don't have like, because interpolates, like linear interpolates, only happen between a 0 to 1 range. If you have something that's larger than a 1 and less than 0, it might fuck with your mask a little bit. So if you saturate it, it just clamps it in between that range, which is and it's more performant than using a clamp because it doesn't need to do like checks for what, because you could have like -10, 100, but a saturate will only ever be 0 to 1, which is really good. And I'm just going to make another thing here. This will be the sky sphere mask. And I'm getting in the habit of like when I have these nodes, like whenever they like coloring them the same way. So I know that if it's orange, that's a mask. So that's a black and white mask. If it's orange, and then I will just go like this, and I'll say sky sphere mask. This is color. Harry, what's up, man? How are you going? I hope you're going well. I'm just doing some shader stuff at the moment. You're doing good. You're doing great. That's good to hear. Okay, wait, and then I'm gonna grab that sky sphere mask. I'm gonna no. Get rid of that. I'm gonna go with sky sphere mask. You're getting a free little tutorial on. I also tried to contact my cousin for you, but she is very pregnant at the moment, so no answer just yet. Get onto it, okay? I don't care if she's pregnant. She needs to respond. No, let her rest up, okay? I will figure out how to do it myself. Um, okay. What I need to look at, what was I looking at? Not, um, oh, nothing. Okay, let's get the Sky Sphere mask back. And I'm going to put that back in there, and we're going to see what that's outputting. Hopefully, okay, I don't want anything. I just want the sky to be white. I don't want anything else. Maybe that multiplier isn't the way to go. But this is a great. I need it pure white. Oh, you know what I can do? I'll just do this if node here. Oh, I don't need that to be saturated because it's going to be 0 to 1. Okay. I'm going to get 2 of these. If it is greater than 0, just set it to 1. And then if it's less than or equal to 0, set it to 0. And that should just... What? Am I stupid? If A... if this mask... Do I need to flip it the other way around? Oh, man. Why? So this is usually what happens when I'm coding. I think that I know what I'm doing. I think I'm smart and clever, and then I'll do some shit, and then my whole world gets turned upside down, and I realize that I'm actually dumb and stupid. So that is outputting this. Right. I need that pure white. What I thought was going to be the case is that if I just plug that into that, then if... Because this is 0, and I want everything that is 0, already 0, stay 0. And if it's over 0, set it to 1. Like, that is doing what I want it to do. And then when it's in here, it just fucking does whatever it wants to do. What the heck? Okay, do a power node, maybe? Oh, let's send that to, like, 10. 0. 2. Oh, 4. Oh. 0.0001. Oh. Fuck, man. Why do they have to make this hard? Why can't they just, like, make it, like, easy? Divide, maybe? Uh, 5. 1. Oh, 1. Ah, okay. 0.0001. 0.001. And then we set it. Oh, we got a new follower, Dougie Dugong. Thank you for the follow, Dougie. I hope you're having a good time. Watching me struggle. Why has it gone back to that now? I don't want that. I need to just completely isolate that. No. Okay, that's in the wrong direction. How are you going, Dougie? I hope you're doing well. This is Among Us's crash course. What value is that? I need to know. Okay, I'm gonna pull out my depth fog mask now. I'm great. That's so good to hear, Dougie. What have you been up to today? Do you do any game development stuff, or are you interested in games? I'll give you a nice little showcase of what we've been working on. This game is Coastal Postal. And we've been working on it for about a year now. I have been tasked with... Okay, wait, that's a period. Okay, I'm gonna plug that in and we'll see what happens. So the sky should not be affected. Okay, that looks great. That looks unaffected. And then I want that to be just a complete solid color. Yes. Is that the solid color? Okay, that's excellent. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted. Because when you get further away, that needs to be like a fully solid color, but I don't want the sky to change color at all. And that looks awesome. That looks excellent. Okay, that was a bit of a tangent, but that give you a little bit of understanding of what goes on, I suppose. Um, you need to be orange. Also, dude, anyone who uses Unreal Engine, if you're an Unreal Engine user in my chat, I'm telling you, I learned a little. Maybe this is like common knowledge, and I'm just an idiot. Any variable in a thing, if you hold shift and right click, it copies that variable, and then if you shift and left click, and any like in somewhere else where you can input that variable, then it puts it back in. So for these colors, you can shift and right click, and then shift and left click, and then instead of having to like go into the thing and change the color and blah blah blah, do all this stuff, you can just do it so quick, man. And it also works for like drop downs of things. So I could shift and right click, and then all of these things are copied, and then I can input that into another thing with that exact same thing, and it'll copy it all over. And it's so handy. That's why you come to the Kurt Munger streams, okay? Learning a little bit of information too. It's not just fun at games, okay? It's actually quite educational. That's why we love it here. Okay, so that is the cell shading. Oh, for anyone who hasn't seen, this is what the game looks like. Mine is I have a pixelation filter on as well, and also some outlines as well. The new shader looks fab. Thank you. I'll put the outlines on. So we've got these cool outlines, and then also we have let me get the. Let me know what you think. Also, Dougie, do I know you? Do I know you in person? IRL. Have you seen this game before? Okay. Yep. Oh, I do know you. Oh, okay. So this is with the pixelation shader. What do you think on it, Side Agent? Let me move me. Actually, I'm gonna just put this on the big screen. So this is it with the pixelation shader. I'm not sure how well it comes through on Twitch, but I like the pixelation for a few reasons. Let me state my case. So when you're making a game, the higher fidelity it looks, the more affordances the player expects. So the player will expect certain things to happen if you have like when I'm playing it, like again, it looks like Call of Duty. There are certain interactions that I would expect to happen because that game has such high level of fidelity. That's why you see like comparison things of like Cyberpunk versus like Battlefield or something like that, and like they're shooting the water, and like one of the things the water is coming up, and the other one it's not coming up, and that's because when you're having those high fidelity games, those are your comparisons. It's other things that are high fidelity, and you can have like, oh well, why doesn't the car explode when I crash into it, and why when I shoot the water, why doesn't things come up? And it can be really frustrating people and break a lot of the immersion when you make your game lower fidelity. And this is really good for smaller teams when you don't have the like budget to and like the teams and you don't have the capacity to make your game super high fidelity. When it's lower, when you like force and like work within your restrictions, players are more forgiving for stuff. And you know, the game still looks nice without the pixel shader on it. So we need to make sure that it works like that as well. Because also some people, it's just like more of an accessibility things. Sometimes people actually it gives them headaches with like this extra motion and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. So we want to be able to we want the player to be able to turn it off and disable it if they need to, because otherwise it might just be a bit of a headache. So the game has to look good without it. Another reason and why we want it on by default is the kind of vibe and the expectation. No, not expectation. Yeah, I suppose expectation and like the game is quite influenced by earlier games. So like early kind of like 3D platformers like Mario 64 and or even like the Lego games as well. And we want to evoke that same kind of feeling of this is just a small game, it's just a little experience, and the pixelation has that effect on it as well. So that's why I like it, and I think it also just graphically ties everything together a little bit more. It kind of like puts like a nice wrapper over everything. Um, yeah, that's my thoughts on the pixel shader. And I hope that you guys enjoy it too. I think it's pretty neat. Okay, yes. Now onto the outlines. So I'm going to keep the pixel shader on for now. So we've got the cell shading, the sky sphere mask, the depth fog, and now I think the pixel shader makes it look unique. It's so cool. It's cool. Can I see you running around with pixelation? Oh yes, I can do that right now actually. So I've also put another outline on the player as well to make them stand out more. But as you can see, the character is a bit dark, and the lighting on them is a bit fucky. And that's because typically when you're doing cell shading, you kind of want your character to actually be cell shaded a little bit differently, so you have more control over it. So you can see when I'm in the shadow, it looks mucky and green and yuck. So we'll actually do a separate lighting pass just that only affects the player, so they actually won't be affected by shadows, which is totally fine because in older games they bake all the lighting, so the player actually wouldn't interact with the lighting because all of that lighting information is baked into the textures. So we can kind of fake it a little bit because you can see that these shadows are actually still moving because the lighting isn't baked, but we'll have that same effect. It'll be more evocative of those earlier games by having the player on a separate pass. And I can show you what that will look like very briefly. So I'm just going to full screen this. So I'm going to place the player. This guy here. So he hasn't got a hat on, unfortunately. Okay, let's spin you around, buddy. You're looking at us. Cool. So this is our little guy, right? And you can see it looks kind of mucky. The shadow shading on him isn't the most pleasant. Oh, what's that? There it is. Beautiful. Thank you, Pops. Oh, divine. Lovely. Right. So if I click on this little fella. Oh, God, I need to move this. Okay, so you have lighting channels. And these are really interesting, and I didn't really know much about them before. But see these lighting channels. So you have 3 lighting channels that you can work with. And you can and what a lighting channel is you have your lights and your objects. And your lights can interact with any oh, see you, Mungus. I'll catch you around. Your lights can interact with any of the channels, and then your objects will only be affected by the lights that share the same channel with it. So if I disable this, he is now not affecting any lighting. He looks still light because of the cell shader, but without the cell shader, it would be completely black because he's not receiving any lighting information. If I then add him to a separate channel, so we're going to put him on channel 1, and then let's get a point light. So I'll place this in here, and you can see now he's receiving lighting information. But now he's kind of glowing because there's a fucking point light there. So we can just remove it from channel 0. So now the point light won't actually affect anything, and it'll only affect the player. So we can have this on like a completely separate pass. And you see, it looks a little bit better, right? It's more kind of like thingy. It still looks a bit funky because of these colors. So I would actually do my own for all of the like interactable objects and NPCs and stuff like that, I will do a cell shading material on the material not in the cell shader. So we'll basically mask it out of the post-processing thing so that we can affect them all separately, because I don't want to have these colors on it. These colors look nice in the environment, but not on the players and stuff like that. So that's a bit of information for you guys. Tricks for young players. Okay, where were we? We're on to the outline. So the outline's really cool. So we are doing two things. So we have the I'm gonna squeeze this guy back in. So we have the depth outline mask. So this is doing so there's two main ways to do outlines. And sorry, no. There's a lot of different ways to do outlines. But let me show you Loki. I'm just gonna pull up a video. There's one that explains it really well, way better than I can. And so I'm just gonna play the video. And I'm not gonna play the whole thing in its entirety, but I'll show you the best bits and the best way to explain it, because it's very interesting. And if you some people already might know this, but I find it very interesting. So, I just feel like none of my lights are on. I'm gonna turn my lights on. Much better. Okay. So, this guy is incredible. This is what's his name? Visual Tech Art, and he does very, very, very good stuff. So, the main way to do it is a convolution kernel, which is basically where you sample a pixel and then you sample all the pixels around it, and you can check their like brightness, and then if it's the thing is greater than a certain value, then you know that that's like an edge, and then you can draw a line there. So that's what he's doing here. So this is him sampling all the things. So here we go. So typically, like, you can do it on like a depth pass. So doing that one that I showed you before, when they're black and white thing, and you go through every pixel on the screen, and then you sample it, and you sample all the pixels around it, and if there's a large difference, that's probably an edge, and then you draw a line there. And that's all that's doing. So you can see here, that is what this is doing. It's going through everything. Actually, I think this is the normal thing, which is, will he show this? Oh yeah, there you go. So these are the two things. So there's your world normal and your scene depth. So the scene depth will draw lines for everything when there's like a big change in distance. But your world normals, if things are pointing in different directions, you can see that like down here on this edge here, it actually won't draw a line because there's not a lot of change in depth. But on the world normal, because they're facing in different directions, there is a large difference, and then you can draw a line there. And so you can combine them together, and then, yeah, see, this is just using scene depth. And then this is the world normal one. I'm not sure. And this is, oh yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, there you go. So that's them combined. And that's usually how you do outlines. But what I'm doing is I am doing the a depth detect, but instead of using the outline, I'm actually using an inline. So instead of pushing it out, I'm pushing it in, and that is really cool for a couple reasons. Firstly, it means that I can sample the color of the mesh that it's on, and then make it darker. So instead of just having like a single like black outline, I can sample the color of the mesh here, and then make it darker depending on the thing. So you get these really cool like the outlines, or more kind of technically inlines, are they've got a really nice like darker thing based on the material that it's on. So all of these things actually have like colors of the outline compared to it, and you wouldn't be able to do that if it's pushing outwards, because then the outline is over something that it is not the color of the mesh that it's on. And then also, that's really cool because the next thing, so that's basically what this is. This is just detecting the stuff, and it's just got extra things. So this here is thickness modulation. So as you get further away, the outlines actually get thinner and thinner. And that means that's just so like, there you go. You can see that they're like, now they're off. But if I didn't have that, then they would still have really thick outlines, and it would be really gross and ugly. I think I actually need to turn that to 0 because you can see there's still some artifacting there, which isn't great. That's okay. Whatever. And then that's other stuff. It's whatever. You kind of get the point now. But moving on to the other thing, which is really cool, is a sun mask. And what this is doing is I'm able to get the direction of the sun compared to the normal of the... Oh, and for anyone who doesn't know what a normal is, normal texture, it is lighting. It is a texture that shows what direction a face is pointing. So it's used to calculate lighting information typically. What am I doing? Here we go. So these are all flat images, right? But because we know the normal map of it, will it animate, please? You can see what direction the thing is, and you can apply things to it that way, which is really interesting. Oh, that's not helpful. So what we can do with the sun mask is, because I know that I find the... Actually, I'm just going to show you what the sun mask is. So this here is the sun mask. It's basically everything that is pointing to the sun. So everything that is like not pointing to the sun is black. Everything that is directly at the sun is white. And then what I can do with that information, so that's just that there, right? Is I can then, in the outline color, I can just multiply the outline by that color, and so that it lets us do this. Actually, wait. Can I get the outline mask? Because what's happening is that's actually only being shown in the outline mask. Actually, this is interesting as well. So this is all the outlines in the game, right? This is what they look like, and then I'm just applying colors to the white bits. So if I think it'll be multiply actually. Combining mask. So there we go. That's what the sun mask looks like. So it is on everything that is like directly pointing to the sun. I can add a little. I can add a little bit of white to it, and then multiply the color of it. You can see it's like it fades off here, which is nice. And then that lets us do it like this. You can see everything that's like facing the sun, the outline is actually brighter, and then everything that's not facing the sun, it's darker. And that like if you look on these ones here, it just gives these nice like little rim lighting to stuff, which I think looks really pretty, especially on like these leaves. It just makes it kind of like glow a little bit. I think it's really... So that is pretty much all that the cell shader is currently at the moment. That the post-processing shader is. It's just some cell shading and some outlines and some fogs and a few other things. So that's basically it. And then I do another pass for the outlines of the plane and the player, just to not muddy up this stuff here. I don't need all of that stuff, and we can also turn it off separately and do stuff like that. Blah, 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 whatever. So I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy right now. Are you Harry Pottering it up? Are you casting spells and things? One thing that I do want to improve about the outline shader is you can see we've got these like empty spots. So on these corners here, see it's got an empty spot here, like these things here, and that's because if I go back to get rid of it, because when you're doing a convolution kernel, which is what I was talking about, where you sample a pixel and then you sample all the pixels around it. If you want to make the kind of 100% the game, oh brother, that sounds like a big task. Here we go. So if you he's going to talk about it here. So you can see if you want to increase the thickness of these things, will he display it? Oh, there you go. So you can see you're getting these gaps, and that's because you're kind of just like spreading. If you have your 3x3 pixel, your like sample size here, you're increasing the size between them, which is actually got all this blank space, and you don't have this information here. So if you want to increase the like resolution of your things, you need to sample larger, like more pixels, which is fine. But then you can see that if you like, this is how you would need to do it if you want to do it manually. So you can write some like HSL code to do like for loops for you. And I followed this tutorial and tried to do it, but it was really confusing and it didn't work, so I just gave up. But I think I would eventually want to do that just so that it just looks a little bit cleaner when you have like these sharp edges and like, you know, it kind of gets so funky here. I want to get it like really clean in there. Because it'll look nice. Okay, so what am I currently doing? What are my goals? What am I doing? These are my things, my tasks at the moment. I'm currently working on the water shader. So I want to improve the water shader, actually. Optimize water shader. So, when you're doing all of these things, right, and you're creating nodes and you're programming your shaders, the more stuff that you add, and depending on like how expensive some of your nodes are, that determines how expensive it is for that material to be processed. And you can see how efficiently you are doing this. In one of the optimization view modes. So if we go into here and we go into the shader complexity, if it's green, that means it's really good, really nice. It goes green, then red, and then pink, and then white. White is like the worst, and green is the best. So I'll show you what we're currently at. So not good. So our water is currently as bad as you can get, basically. It is very, very bad. And because this is like an open world and you're in an ocean, the water is kind of really important, and there's going to be a lot of it on the screen. So that's taking up a fuck ton of resources to draw the water, to draw each pixel of the water. You can see the landscape is also pretty bad as well. I have some ideas to optimize that too. So you can see here, I'm actually doing some tests for a different kind of water. So the main drawback and what is currently causing a lot of the optimization issues is because the water is because the water is translucent, because you can see through it, and that causes a lot of issues because it's basically you're rendering everything underneath it, and then you need to render a layer on top of it, and then you need to recalculate what color the bottom pixel should be through the calculations of this. And so and then the more like transparent layers you add, the more complex it gets. And so it can very quickly pile up and cause a lot of problems. And this looks really nice. Like the transparent water looks really pretty, right? But I'm kind of thinking that I don't think it's worth it. I don't think that especially if I can make it look nice enough without transparency, I think that will be good, and that'll save us on a lot of performance. And also, like, although it looks really nice, I don't think the difference is really worth it. So you can see over here, I am testing an opaque material. So this one is not see-through, and this one is see-through. And that it just means that we're able to place it more around. And when you're optimizing things, you would have it so that, like, if I go into the you would have it so as you get further away, it would swap into a different material that is more optimized. Because like when I'm this far away, I can't even tell if it's if it's transparent or not. So I could swap it out. You can see some of the things here will see they kind of change color. That means that they're using a different shader. If I go into the level of detail, so you can see as I get further away from an object, it actually does it based on how much that object is taking up in screen space. So the different colors are the different LODs, and that stands for level of detail. So as I get further away, you can see that they're changing color, which means that they are lowering their level of detail until they are basically, I mean, if I zoom in, it goes back to the same level of detail, but they're basically just like a 2D image at that point. But that allows you to be very optimized. So that is what I wanted to do. I want to make this water look like this water, but be better performant. And I'm nearly there. And it's, if I show you the water graphs, holy moly, mother of God. It is a big, big difference. So this is my water shader at the moment. It's kind of all over the place because I haven't like organized stuff. But it's like, okay, that's pretty busy. There's a lot going on. If I go into this one, this is the water shader for the transparent one at the moment. So you can see why it's a lot more expensive to run, because it's doing a lot of things. Also, another really expensive thing is this Gerstner wave. So this is like actually like adding waves into the thing, so it's offsetting the mesh so that it's got like ripples and stuff like that, and it does look really nice. It's how you're getting like it kind of like going like this along the thing. It looks really, really nice, and it is quite expensive. So I might see if I might have. I'll see how expensive it is, and if it's really bad, or I might like just add it as like an option. So like it's like on by default or whatever, and then if it's like too expensive, then you can turn it off, because it does look really nice. Because the main thing is that like you want to have a like motion, you know, you want the world to feel alive, you want it to feel pretty, and the water is like a big part of the game, right? It's like 50% of the fucking name is coastal, so it should look good. But you have to, like, you know, you have to compromise sometimes. So Gerson waves are one of the things that are on the chopping block at the moment. Transparency, I don't think makes that much of a difference because we can work around that. But Gerson waves is like either you have it or you don't. So yeah, there will be. Look at this. It's like doing the same kind of ripple. I'm just being pedantic. Okay, let's look at our comparisons again. So the problem that I'm currently running into, is with these shoreline ripples. So this is it here, and oh, that's fine. So I will just plug in. Turn this water off. So this looks fine, right? The like the shore farm that looks really nice and cool. What the fuck are these little things though? Like that's so ugly and it's very noticeable and very pixelated. And I like vaguely know where they're coming from, but I need to get rid of them. I'll show you what's happening. So basically we have the distance field mask, which is DF mask. And distance fields are really cool. And basically they will every object in the world has like a distance field. Let me show this. Distance. Where are you? Uh, it's really interesting. It looks really cool. Custom depth world units, I think. Nope. Oh well, I can't do it. But basically, imagine a distance field is basically every point in space, how far it is to the closest object, and so you can use that information to do these things like ripples and stuff like that, which looks really cool and awesome. So that's what a distance field is, and then and in order to add variation, we're then adding on to it these two textures, and then like panning them at different speeds to add like variation, and then that looks like this. There. So then we have this texture, which we're panning across like that, which will then add variation, random variation, which is good because they're panning at different speeds. But annoyingly, when I combine the two using this thing here, this is what it decides to do. Some of it is still visible. And I don't know why. Because if it's ugly, just really fucking ugly. Yeah. And then if I go into the settings here, let's. I'll make it really slow. It's like this intersection between the two. You know what? It might be because I don't know why it would be this, but in the thing they did it like this because I'm just dragging out of the channels instead of. It's I feel like it'll be some shit like that. Um. No, see, we're still getting a little bit of it. Okay, well at least I'm not crazy. It's so minor though. It might. I think that's probably fine, right? But if I, oof, look at that. That's so weird, right? Okay. Um, I feel like it's probably something to do with let me think. Because what's weird, it's like it's this if node, right? It's 100% this if node. Um, and what I'm like, if I just multiply these together, will that do the same thing? Uh, maybe like that. Yeah, but now we don't have the hard edges, and that's because that did get rid of it, but we don't have the hard edges anymore, and I want the hard edges. How do we do hard edges normally? Okay, let's do a power node. We're gonna plug U into U, and then we're gonna add another parameter. I'm just gonna call it param, doesn't matter. Okay, and now if we go into here, let's get param. No. Cheap contrast. I don't think this is a good way of doing it. I just need like the edges to be harder. Uh, but even that's not what we want. Like I mean, that is what we got, but that's not what we want. You know what I mean? So that oh, I didn't want to do that. So the if node, what is the if node actually doing then? Because we've got the inverse of this, the inverse of the distance field mask, which is this, right? And we get the inverse of it, and then Seraphim. Oh, I'm gonna get the notification right now. Welcome, welcome. That's all good. So if this is brighter than Loki, what if we do like a clamp with here, and then the max is like 0.9 or something? I don't I don't think that'll be it, but fucking who knows. Also, I'm just gonna fucking drag this over. Short foam mask. Okay, if I do that, what is that gonna look like? That Loki looks like what I needed, right? I just kind of took off those higher values, and I might even if I just do 9.9, you know, will we get some of them peeking through? Yeah, we just, bruh. It's always like a really simple solution. I swear to God. Um. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, let's put that back there. Lovely. Okay, I'm glad that I could get that out of the way because I wanted to move on to more cool and exciting stuff. What I want to do is I want to do the highlight. Okay, you go in there. You go in there. Okay, beautiful. I need to pull up the. This is water. This is the water instance that we're using. Oh, okay, wait. I just reminded to save because we froze a little bit there, which scared me. And then let's go to the We don't need normals. We don't need seafoam. We don't need shore color. Shore foam. Where are we at? Protection size. Protection size. What's it called? Oh yeah. This needs to be shore. Ah! Why do you do that? I need it. Ah! There we go. Shore foam speed. Shore foam intensity. Are they in the right things as well? This is shore foam distortion. But no, it's not distortion. Fuck it, I'm calling it distortion. Texture. They're the same. Shore foam. Historian. Shore foam distorian. Distortion. And they are both in the group. You are in the. You both need to be in the shore foam group. Shore foam. Just a tidy up by now. Shore foam. Okay, now we have a little more control over it. Let's put that to like. Where's distortion tiling? 0.1. Uh, 2. 0.01. Turn. 100. Okay, now I want to change 0.1. It's like only going off that side, which is triggering me. What? Oh, see. 1. That's too much. Not enough. Oh man, there's so many little variables, dude. How long you plan on streaming today? I'll probably just do a little 2-hour stream. Oh, see, now we've gotten rid of that the edge bit. What was this before? 40. Yeah, because I want the edge to always be thingy. I know that's good. That's what I want. No. Oh, brother. Okay, 10 seems to be good. Intensity? That ain't doing shit, man. Oh, it is doing something. Do like 1. Oh my god, man. Dude, this is like 30% of game development, I swear to god, is just doing this shit. It is the worst. No, that needs to stay at like 20. I need it to be the same as that, and it's perfectly not. It's also not white enough. Where's the shore foam color? Nope, that ain't doing anything. 1, thank you. Why is 10 the max for that? Weird. Distortion tiling, no. Okay, I'm just gonna keep that as is for now. No, it's actually really triggering me. That's actually so annoying, man. Oh, that's actually not so bad. But it's going too quick now, you know what I'm saying? What other if I go to where is our over here, right? Yes. From distance from hardness. Bit weird in direction this week. I know, right? Yeah. Like, hmm. Oh, you know what it might be? I think it's because we're using maybe the funky distortion texture. Uh, let me see here. It's this one, right? Water ripple. Is it that one? No, wait, that's yeah, that is a short film. They're pretty uniform. Okay, wait. Let me cook. Then let's change this tiling down. Pretty uniform. Yeah, that's good actually. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Let me see what the settings are on this. If I go to the foam, they're both on 0.1. 0.1. Intersection size is 20. Intersection softness is 50. Oh, short foam hardness is 10. Short foam speed is 5. Okay. Oh, God. Hardness is 10, right? Yes. Intersection softness is also 50. Oh, brother. I think. Look at the difference, bro. That one's so nice and calm and peaceful, and this one's. Okay, dude. Let's see. Okay, it definitely ain't that. Whoa! Short from distance. What the fuck is short from distance? 1.1. Yes. Holy fuck. Are you following the tutorial or just winging it? This shader was from a pack that I had, and then I'm just kind of winging it from there. So we're just kind of same. But I feel like we've got all of the variables we need. We just need to. Okay, I know these top three are kind of done, right? Because that's just the intersection, and then all the rest of the distortion stuff. I feel like the tiling. Dude, 5 is way too fast. There's no way that it's 5. Even that it feels way too big. Honestly, just winging it can produce the best results. It can sometimes, and it can also other times be painstaking. Why is it going so fast, man? This one's so calm and chill. Okay, I'm gonna go back in here. Let me go this here. Short from speed. I don't think I have that. I have that there, but where is that parameter? Where the fuck is Short form speed. What the heck? There. Which I am. See if I'm tiling. More wave normals. Okay, go over here. Wait, Loki, should I be using the normals for it? Okay, you are coming with me. You're going over there. That's where you should be. Defaults too. Okay. And they're not actually using where am I? Yeah. So this is for the shore foam mask, right? That's sea foam mask. Wait, shit, am I stupid or something? Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's just foam speed. There need to be two different things. There need to be two different. But this will be short foam distortion speed, and the other one will just be short foam speed. That's fucking pumping, bro. You are going to be 0.1. You know, and also just to get rid of the distractions, I'm gonna put short foam mask, just black and white, so that we have a little bit more visibility. Distortion speed. Fuck. Tiling. Oh, that's looking okay. That's looking very repetitive. That's because this isn't moving. Let's bring the tiling up to like 10. No, not to 10. It's like a heartbeat. It's very rhythmic, yes. But when we slow it down, it'll be fine. 5 maybe. Oh, okay. Wait. We had some stuff going there. See, that's kind of good. I want more of it though. See, that's not what I want. There we go. That's closer though. When it kind of comes out and then breaks off. Let's get the 0.8 maybe. And then I think let's crank that up. Let's not crank that up. No, see, that looks fuck ass. What is this softness thing? Uh, uh, See, that definitely ain't it. Hmm. This is probably incredibly boring. So I hope that you guys have me as like uh some like background. Oh, that's honestly fine. Maybe it's not enough. It's really not enough. And that's I think this is my problem. Is I'm just kind of definitely background noise mode. Just me whinging. Awesome. It feels like the distance field mask isn't like big enough. Like it's not pushing out far enough. Like that's okay. Let's just do one thing at a time, right? Intersection size. That's really interesting. Why it's going all. Ooh, that is weird. Just started to play Terraria again, so just relearning everything. Good luck with that, man. Terraria is a scary game. Okay, I feel like that is a good distance for stuff. That feels like a nice kind of pace for it as well. I'm happy with that. So then let's go to the short foam mask and how it applies with the other stuff. See, it's not like going all the way, you know what I'm saying? Um, Maybe it's the hardness. See, that gives us. Oh, okay. Wait. Period. No, no. It's like edging. I need it to break off. You know what I'm saying? It needs to. I'm gonna crank this up a bit. It's not like breaking off frequently enough. That scale. And why is it like it's kind of like looks like it's kind of going around. You know what I'm saying? Did I fuck something up? um, Wait, no, maybe it's because I swapped it around. Where is it? This it is the foam. Yeah, I need the foam, not water ripples. Okay, yeah. Wait, that's definitely different. Okay, I need to turn that shit down, please. Here we go. Here we go. Wait, you go back to point two, and then this distortion times be really different one. Oh, wait, that might be it. I think that's it. That looks good. Seraphim, I need you to verify this one. That looks kind of perfect. The way it's kind of breaking off. That looks pretty good to me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Nice little waves. And now let's chuck the water back in. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that just look spectacular? Chuffed. Chuffed. Oh, okay, we're done with that. Now, on to the next challenge. We want to replicate these highlights. You see how, like, it kind of twinkles? I want to replicate that. I would like that, please. Oh, actually, really quickly, I'm going to just put the refraction. Refraction? Reflection? What is it called? Specular. Specular is the red. I'm going to do this. Oh, wait, it's just that. Where does a cube map go? Where does that get used? Bar color mask? Cube map? Seafoam color? Fuck out of here. The specular is just. I think that'll just be. That's literally just this. I'm gonna chuck that anywhere. Oh, what? Don't I have my Fresnel mask? Fresnel. What? Am I stupid? That's where I put it in. Oh, it's this. Fresnel mask. Where are you at, little bro? Okay, you're here. Let's just get that. And let's put you in here. And then, no, I don't need you. I need Fresnel mask. There we go. And then Freddie Nelly. You go back in there. And then we can plug our little specular friend in here. Beautiful. Now, I think when we. Oh, that looks like shit. Look at all the wave normals. Transform vector to world space. I don't freaking know. Whatever. Let's see what we're at now, though, with the. What am I looking for? Optimization view modes. Complexity. There's nothing. It's getting pretty red. Loki, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Fuck. Wait, shit. I just fucked it up. Okay, no, I'll just keep it. It's whatever. Okay, gaff. Gaff. Highlights. Where are my beautiful highlight babies? Highlight mask. You are. That's my shore mask. Okay, fuck it. I'm grouping things. Shore foam mask. This is my seafoam mask. Seafoam mask. You are also orange. This is my highlight mask. That's where you are, baby. Highlight mask. Beautiful. Wave normals, stay down there. What are you? My distance field mask. Distance field. You will go next to short foam mask. Go! Highlight mask. Oh, that's just data. No, that's not data. Those are my distance masks. All right. That down there is my. What is that? Oh, that's my shore mask. Shore mask. Bet. Go. And then get up there. I like having it like this, so that you can like all of your you just have like your pipeline of like all your final things, and then all of your masks are just kind of like on a single track. It's all nice and pretty. Sure, mask. Fresnel is also going to be orange. Hey. Specular. Specular. You're going to be red. Oh, fuck. You're not red. Shite. It's so annoying. The undo key takes fucking a million years to work. Specular. Right, let's go back to this highlight mask. Let's see this shine out. You're the wrong color. Fuck. Wrong color. Thank you. Right. Now, let's have a look what we've got, what we're working with. Highlight mask. Plug these into there. Oh, shit. That looks pretty good. Why aren't you showing up then? Have I disabled it or something? I have. Oh. Well, that's pretty bloody good. Look at that. I'm so onto it. I want it to sparkle! I want it to sparkle. It's not quite sparkling like those ones do. I don't know why that is. Let's have a little peruse. I want to eat the water. No, eating the water. Naughty, naughty. Okay, so they're all layered in. Because on their one, this highlight intensity is, you can crank that right up, and it like, let's go over here, right? If I go to the highlight intensity, let's just set that to 100. It's a wee brighter now. Cranking fucking super bright. But I do that on my one. Here's my highlights. Highlight intensity. It's like it's capped out at fucking 1. Well, that's not even doing what I want it to do. Why does his get brighter and mine just get shine? I don't know why I'm doing a Scottish accent. I'm having a great time though, so. Okay. Do some comparisons, okay? The highlight intensity is happening at the end there. Am I like, I'm not, is it because I am multiplying it with, I think that might be it. Well, honestly, the highlight color should always be white anyway. You know what I'm saying? Wait, maybe it doesn't even need to be a mask. Because it's, let me think. Where is it getting applied, bruh? Could be different for sunsets. Now, that would, what's really cool, this shader actually does take into account with, like the lighting, the like light directions, like day and night cycles and that kind of stuff. But we won't be doing day and night cycles or different weather. Maybe if we do like a massive bigger game, then we will. And then we can have like the nice pretty water. because then you can like kind of take that into account with that kind of stuff. But for now, no day night, so I don't need to consider that kind of stuff, which does take a load off. Yeah, see, like day intensity, day directional licht intensity. So I'm actually just adding that on top. So now, if I go onto the daylight intensity, you little bastard! Why is it not? Because this is just the final color. Because this is the pipeline for what it is. So it does the main colors, right? It does all that. Then it does the trough colors. Then it does the shallow water and green color. Then it does the shore foam. Then it does the sea foam. Then it does the subsurface scattering. So that's like when I go onto like this lower angle, you can see like at these, it's like the subsurface scattering through the peaks of the water, which looks really nice and pretty. Then this highlight mask gets added in. Where? Where? It gets added to this, but I'm not using subsurface scattering. It's fine. It gets multiplied by the directional light and the day intensity, which is fine. I'm not using that. I don't need to use that. I'm just adding it on top of it. So then, how come I go to the highlight over here? Highlight density. It's not sparkling. It's just not sparkling. Okay, wait. If I let me pull up this one. Let's just copy all of those shared things, which apparently is 0. Highlight density is 0.9. Highlight intensity is 30. Highlight softness is 100. Oh, so it's like the exact same things. But they're not sparkling. I think those the highlights do add quite a bit though. Can I? What is this softness? Density. Okay. It's like intensity is just like it's like it's capped out at 1. You know, like it's been like saturated somewhere. Shouldn't be the fucking case for that. Is this maybe like a what settings is that? Default lit. Firm. Okay, let's put this into the thing here. And then oh wait, 0.9, 30, 100. So okay, so I know that this is getting saturated somehow somewhere over the rainbow. Maybe because this is getting saturated here, and then I'm multiplying it. No, yeah, I am multiplying it there, but that should then increase it. No, and that's also happening there. What? I just want it to glow. I want it to twinkle. That's so much to freaking ask. Okay, so let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Short form intensity. This is on my one, right? But it seems like it's being But on here, that's glowing. No, not short term intensity. What am I talking about? Highlight intensity is what I need. Highlight. Yeah, see? That's glowing on there. That's really fucking glowing, that is. But then for some reason on here, it's not. But then it is on this one. Hmm. Oh! I think I might know. It's not actually to do with the water at all. It's to do with the cell shading. So if I do the um I think because it's applying the cell shading to the water as well, which I think is clamping out those high values. I think that's what's happening because if I go to fucking not that. Yeah, look, scene depth isn't taking into account the water, but it is taking into account this because it's translucent material. So if I do unlight, and because I kind of don't want the cell shading to take effect on that as well. So what is the one, two? Okay, wait, custom stuff. Okay, so if I go onto here and then I got to go into details. Okay, and then let's do custom. Let's put it in there. So now that has the fucking thing, which I don't want. Details. You're probably wondering, Curtis, how the fuck can you see all that? Because I'm fucking good at it. Okay, I know. Okay, that didn't remove it, which is fine. That's totally fine. Because I need. Okay, so if this is 1, give us a custom stencil. And then let me see. This actually might be huge because also another issue that I was dealing with. Oh, there we go. See? So you can see this isn't included in the custom depth, which is why it's still blue. But now that we have this in the custom depth, if I move this around here, I was having an issue where the players. Okay, he's. Oh no, he's just walking into it. Wait, this shouldn't have any. Oh no, I haven't turned it off. Where I want to change the color of the outline if you're underneath the water, so it goes into like a blue, because otherwise it stands out like crazy. And but because the water actually, because transparency can't be rendered in the custom depth fast because it's then I wasn't actually able. It was like it was quite difficult to figure out a way to get that working. But if I have it just in its own thing, then there we go. So now the top half, whatever is above water, is blacked out. Whatever is below water is contained within the mask. So that means that I can do the coloring thing, which is great news. Okay, that's excellent. So now, if I just need to include this. This will be the water mask. So 0 will be in the custom depth. It's a custom stencil. Yeah, custom stencil value. If it's 0, that means it's a player. If it's 1, that means it's the water. So then I can get rid of both of those. Okay, I'm gonna. This occlusion mask needs to go into Wait, what is that value? I have no idea. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Wait, that's you, not you. What? What did I just do? No. Why is it? Oh, it's because it's updating it. That's fine. Okay. I'm just going to copy and paste this whole thing down here. And then delete and delete that there. And I'll just leave a note for me. Move into outline. Cool. And then I can delete all of this. Here. And then this will now be the water mask. Cool. So the custom stencil is really interesting, and it basically lets you have a custom depth for stuff based on a value. So you can basically assign a value to it up to 255 because that's how many colors there are. Don't get into it. And then you can just like compare those things with each other. So I can put things on certain things so that only certain. It's basically having layers and stuff. It's weird, man. The whole thing. Why is it? Is it like in different colors now? Or am I crazy? I'm crazy. I am. Okay, so we want to also remove the cell shading from the water layer. So we're going to get water mask, and we're going to multiply these together. Multiplying masks together basically just like adds the whites together. Because if you multiply 0 by 0, it'll be nothing. That should do it, right? Ta-da! No, we need to add it. Ta-da! Now it's all twinkly. There we go. Big brain motions. That's why they pay me the big dollars. Oh, we do actually have the reflection. Okay, let's put you back next to this thing. I need to remove the outline of it. That's fine. Okay. So now it's like sparkling. Nice. And then let's go back to our water shader and put in the color. You into there. Oh, look at that bloody water. Oh, why is it cutting through? Copy paste it for night sky. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh wait, shit. That's because the water mask is okay. I'll show you exactly what's happening. If I put in this water mask now, it's not cutting out everything that isn't included. If I do custom, no, wait, theme texture. Drag this back in. If I do custom depth, what is that? Fuck. Maybe custom stencil. I need a. I need to get a mask of everything that is not in the custom stencil because by default everything is outside of custom depth. That's still in it. Oh, this is tricky now. Because what was happening before was that because it like because the water mask, it's showing the whole thing, right? But it's not cutting out the shape for it. So then when I if I didn't want the cell shading to be applied to the water to this mask here, it's not cutting it out for this as well. So I need to figure out a way to get everything that isn't included in it and then subtracts that away from everything that is included in it. Which is a little bit harder. There is definitely a way to do it though. Oh, if I do, let's get scene depth. Wait, I always forget. What does the scene depth thing do again? Depth mask. Scene depth. Pixel depth. That one's tripping me out. Okay. Scene depth. Okay, wait. Can I plug that into the end? What a winter wonderland. Oh shit. Wait, what's it called again? Put that back. Sorry. This is just for like when the player is occluded by stuff. Wait, that's hint maybe. Custom depth, scene depth, back. If I do this, but I'm going to change this to 1. Oh, there we go. Ah! Okay, and then we just invert this. Go. There we go. That's it. Beautiful. We're just subtracting the custom depth from the scene depth. And then that'll be our water mask. So that was just getting its value, but this is now getting it minus everything that's not water mask. Lovely. Now, if I plug that in, what? What? Am I crazy? Would there be different temperatures for the islands, or just keeping it pretty tropical? At the moment, it's like it'll be pretty drawn back for oh wait, maybe I don't need to invert it. For like the content of the game, it's gonna be pretty small to be honest. Um, there might be like other versions that's a little bit more involved, but yeah, so there won't be any like chat. What? Am I crazy right now? Okay, nothing else is currently included in the thing then, so it definitely is. Where's my water mask again? Down here. But we do like there's lots of different ways that we could have like different biomes and stuff like that, but it's gonna be pretty micro for this version of the game. Okay, let me see that water mask again, man. So that's exactly what I need, right? Because it's cut out. But then Maybe it's a sphere mask shit. No, that's fine. So then cell shading should be added to 1. So why is it like cutting it out there? That's so weird, man. It shouldn't be able to do that. That's so bizarre. Because that's that, which is just going straight into the alpha. So let me just do that. Maybe it's something else. Yeah, so that's normal. Yeah, that's perfect because then we have the reflections of that. Okay. So then what part of it is actually Oh, is it the play mask? Loki, I think it's just this. Yeah, that was it. Because that's basically what was doing the player. Um, okay, that's better. Okay, I kind of that looks weird that it's like that reflective. You know what I mean? Where is reflection? Oh, it's like a little bit though. Nice. Pump it up a bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, cool. That's looking pretty good so far. One thing that I do want to do though, hold on, wait. If I scale this up, okay, scale to tiling with it as well. So I'll have to we'll have to have like a set tiling size for stuff because the tiling, yeah, because the tiling is based on the mesh. Unless I do absolute world position for that stuff. Um, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's not that bad. But I do want to have some some like color depth in it. So let's go to this guy here. Is it these troughs? No, because that's just based on height, and the height is based on the Gauss and wave stuff. We don't have Gauss and wave, but we can kind of fake it if we just like pile a big texture on it and then just like make it darker. So let's get physical. Wave normals. Okay, let's get wave normals, and let's just put that to the color channel. Okay, that's what the wave normals look like at the current. And I kind of want to I feel like this would be easy, really easy once I What? How was it doing that? That'd be only the red channel. That's a whole ass fucking normal. Blue? Just blue? Okay. Large wave normals. That's weird, bro. That's interesting how they've done that. That's the whole RG, the whole wave normals. Interesting. Let's. Okay, we're just gonna start off with the basic. We're gonna do texture sample, and oh, we've already got this here. No, we don't want the foam. Let's go to where this is though. Okay, stylized ocean. Fuck that. Because I want just like some textures on it. Okay, let's just get a pan or. Oh wait, I'm just gonna steal. Where are you? Okay, I'm just gonna steal one of these. Okay, so that's massive. Okay, I'm just gonna a good way to create like variation is you get two textures and then you multiply them together and then you just have different you plug these in and then you just do different things for it like this and then let's just create another one. You're going to be slightly bigger, 2.5, and you're going to be going slightly slower. And now it should have some repeating variation in it. There you go. I mean, it doesn't look great, but I wonder. Like, I'll clean all this up later. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. Drag this out. I'm gonna put you over here, and then we're going to do a lerp here between that and that, and then you are going to be the alpha for that, and then we're going to add. Actually, let's duplicate this in there, and you won't be able to see anything because it's the same color, and I haven't put anything in. But if we go to here, and then we do. Oh, oh fuck! Wait, let me change the name of this. True color And then let's change this. There we go. We've got like some ripples in there. You see what I'm saying? Kind of want to increase the strength of it though. I haven't named any of these parameters yet, so bear with me. But I just want to kind of get an idea for it first. Oh, fuck, there's so many. What the fuck? Oh, it's because we need to saturate it before we put it into the alpha. There we go. Okay. That's just kind of like increasing the. So it looks like ass at the moment, but I forget what these are. Oh, that's like the tiling of it. Yeah, so that's fine. And then okay, let's name our things now. Okay, so this will be speed 2, speed 1, tiling 1, tiling 2. Oh, and then that one is intensity. Okay, so now let's go back to here. Let's pull some tiling. Okay, and then let's do 1, 1, 1.5. No. Oh, they should be quite big actually. Let's do 0.1, 0.2. And then let's go get the base color, put you back in there, and then just do it like slightly. You know what I mean? Just kind of add some variation in the water. You know, kind of like that. So it actually needs to be like really faint. So that should even be slower. Uh, one of them should be fast. One of them should be slow. That's too slow. Hmm. That's kind of nice. And then and then also like these should be. This is water color. We'll do water variation texture, and then you got also that one there. Okay, so this will be variation tiling 1. Variations. No, variation 1. No. Variation A tile. Variation B tiling. Variation B. And then this would be variation. I'm gonna tidy these up, guys. I swear. I can first tidy them up by turning them into a mask. This is color variation mask. Variatino. Okay, lovely. And then we get the color variation. And this will be watercolor variation. And then we can chuck all of that to stay in the colors actually. Then all of these can go into color variation. Get out. Flash. That will oh, I need to rename you. You need to be color variation. And then you are going to go into the textures thing. Okay. And they look really dark at the moment. That's fine. I just wanted to be able to see it because I'm going to get the water-based color. I'm going to put it back as that. I low-key want to make the whole thing a bit darker. Yeah, see, that looks cool. Oh, that's nice. And then gotta make the holy fuck. Okay, and now this water variation, maybe we actually make that. Oh, see, even just that just adds like just like a little bit more depth into it. Like if I pump this up, you can see. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, see that just adds like so much more like just depth to it. You just get like these nice pockets of color. Okay, shall we slap this on the big thing and see how we go? I also need to knock that back as well. Where are we? Oh wait, let's add control. Okay. This is color variation. I always keep on doing Veritino variation. Okay, we're gonna add controls to all of these things so that we can turn them off and on, make them look all nice. Static switch parameter. Wait, let's just copy and paste these. Okay, this is use color variation. Okay, if it is true, use that. If it's not, use that. Plug that into there. So these things will just let us like turn them off and on. It won't actually have any effect. It's just for like when we're programming and stuff, when we're like just testing things out. But I like to have these little controls on because it's just nice. We're gonna use another one. Sure color. It is. Do that. Oh. Oh yeah. No, that's fine. Do that. It isn't. You just go straight through. Okay, so now when we go into here, you can see we've got all these controls up here. So if I turn all these off, we can see what we've built. So this, oh, okay, so this is our shader. If we just have a single color, right, with nothing else. Then we add it bit by bit. So we do, okay, let's add shore foam, shore color. So now when it's close to things, it's just got a little bit of that tint on it. Let's also add in the color variation back. So that'll texture over, and you can see that just gives it a nice kind of like variation in it. Let's add in the shore foam. So that's on the edges here. So they look good. And then add in the sea foam. That just adds in an extra layer there. And then let's add in the highlights. And look at that. That's our water. So with all of those things, that's all of our stuff there. Tile silver. What does tile silver mean? I don't think that actually does anything. Where's tile silver? These ones? Oh yeah, wait. That's a crazy big node, isn't it? Yeah, let's get rid of that entirely because I don't want any bloat. Please. Yeah, that makes it a lot smaller. Lovely. Now let's look at how we are comparing. Oh wait, optimization, shader complexity. So it is red, but look at the difference. That's the one before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Now, should we try out the Gerstner waves? Okay, wait, before we do that, I'm going to get rid of these ones. That's the another annoying thing about the fucking things. You can't click them. Okay, let's get the water volume. Okay, fuck off. Stop it. Oh wait, I need to click that. Let's get the details panel back up. We're going to get the water volume, ocean mesh, and we are going to put in this opaque water here. Now, like I expected, it's kind of fucking massive. All of the things are, all the tiling things are massive. So let's just go through and fix that. Okay, wait, let's just search up tiling. Sea foam tiling. Do we like it bigger or smaller? Even smaller? I feel like 20 is a good size. Shore foam tiling. Wait, so what was that before? That was, because if we figure out what then we just times them all by that. So we want it at 20. What was it at before we started doing stuff? For that. Is that 2? So we got to times everything by 10. That goes to 1. That goes to 20. That also goes to 20. That goes to 4. That goes to 10. Doesn't look that good from. We'll fade it out with at a distance. You can very clearly see the repetition, which is fine, but we'll fade it out. Okay. Well, the shore colors are done. Color variations done. Distances done. Highlight normals, reflection, sea foam, shore foam. That's what we need. Wait, why did it? Oh, I need to put both of those with the texture. So that's the water normal large water variation texture. Oh, they should be the same, right? They should be the same. Okay, and then it was water normal large. That should also be a texture. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so this is cooked. Um, is it what's broken about it? Is it softness? That was like that, right? Um, go back here. Let's have a look at what we have in here. The sea foam. Is that what it was? Oh no, it was just foam, wasn't it? Yeah. They had the softest as Fat 50. They had, bro, I did it. No, that feels too big. 20? I kind of want to change all the colors for them. Colors. Okay, wait. First, let's get that fade out for those things because that's really fucking ugly. Um, let's just grab one of these. Oh no, not that one. Okay, this will be the uh oh fuck water. Wait, no, it can just be variation distance fade. Thank you. Variation fall off, and then this will be variation. Then we can just do we multiply it by a thing? Yeah. The no, variation. I need a one minus it. Yep. Cool. Okay, so that way it'll fade out when it's like far away from the camera. Yeah. See, that's good. That was much better. Just kind of adds that variation. It kind of almost looks like it's like the the water is like peaks in the water. You know what I mean? Like maybe we need to bring up the base color a little bit. It does feel like a little bit too thingy. And then what's the color variation? Shift it over to the teal a little bit. A bit much. Oh, Alina. Hello. How are you doing today? I was actually thinking about texting you, but my phone is my camera, so I can't I can't text anyone while I'm streaming, unfortunately. How are you doing? You've come at a good time. I'm making some water. See, it just needs to be just a little subtle amount like that, where it's just subtle. Oh, you can really start to see the repetition of the textures. Okay, yeah, we can. I also need to do the highlight distance. I just woke up now eating a waffle. That sounds beautiful. Let's use this one. What are you gonna have on your waffle? What are you up to? Silly question, I know. I am improving the water shader in Poastal. So I'm making it more performant, and I'm also changing it to opaque, so you can't actually see through the water, and that's for performance reasons because when it's a translucent material, it's more perform. It costs more to like render it. So if I make it an opaque material, then that means that it's more performant to thingy. Okay. No, not high pass texture. I need highlight mask that I just put in here because I will have that added. Excuse me. Why are you mad at me? Oh, highlights distance mask. Yeah. Oh, it's because it's using itself. That's why. Okay, Smarty. Highlights distant mask. That way, the highlights should fade off like a lot sooner before the stuff is because it's very very noticeably repeating. So then let's go back into here, and now we've got our highlights distance fade. Let's bring that in a lot. Yeah, low key, like no, you still want like a little bit, maybe like 1,000. Ooh, I think the highlights tiling needs to be, but that's on the normals. Okay, wait, 200. Oh hell no. Okay, wait. That makes it a lot larger. And then where are my highlights? Highlight density. Oh, no, go back. 15. Do 15. Yeah, the normals are nice. They make it all ripple, but I need to adjust that. 1, 2. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a variation. Actually, wait, no. They're currently at the same speed. Let's have that one at 1.5, 1.2. That'll help with the variation, and then that one could be at 0.8. Okay, you can kind of see some repetition in it, but that's not the worst thing, honestly. That's actually so fine. Seafoam. I Loki want. Oh wait, oh no, it's in the color seafoam color. Let's make this even subtler, like that. I reckon just a little bit. Yeah, that looks nice. Then let's also bring in the distances for that, for the foam distance. Yeah, because it's honestly fine if the water is just kind of like blue. Yeah. Okay, this is the new water, guys. We still have the old water if we like really need to. So it's not like the end of the world, guys. Come on, chill out. The shore color needs to be lighter, like way lighter. Oh wait, that's actually wait, that works a bit too good. What the heck? Oh, because it's doing it hmm, on everything. But Loki only want to do it on the on like on a single mesh. How would I do that? I wonder if there is a way that I can. Hold on, wait. Yeah. What is all that? Because that like definitely makes it look like shallow water, you know? And it's like, oh, you get deeper, but then it kind of defeats the purpose. Looks like jelly. Kind of defeats the purpose if it's um on everything. It looks really good on the island, but not so good everything else. Hmm. And also the character looks really dark because I don't have the cell shading on them, so that's why they're excluded from it. I need to do that on the material, which is okay. Because that does give it a little bit more depth, you know, like the difference between like shallow and not shallow. But then I kind of only want it to be applied to the landscape. Let's see. I'm gonna do a quick little search. UE5 distance to nearest surface for a specific object. Does look good. Um, because I want stuff to be included for because I'm using the same distance to nearest surface for the shorelines as well as this shore color. Um, so I want it to be like applied on these things, but not but the shore color to not be on it. Look at the distance to nearest surface. Use which samples? Mm. I don't know if I'll be able to do that to like exclude separate things from it. Yeah. Shore mask, work position. Um, I feel like if there is a way, it's not going to be simple. It's going to be pretty difficult. What is his world position output? Defaults to current world position not specified. Okay, let me just put in a 3 vector. Do 100. What? What? Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why are you yelling at me? Okay, chat, we're just not going to be able to do it. That's fine. that's just the downsides of having an opaque material, that you can't have everything. Let's just increase that. And then where is the shore color? There we go. Shore size. Because yeah, look, everything is having that now, which I'm not sure if I'm crazy about. We'll just do like a very subtle one. Let's do 30 and 20. Let's just make this. Yeah, see, Loki, if we just have like a really nice teal color like that, that actually looks fine, you know. It looks enough like a shore, but it's like a nice in between, and we don't need to do any like crazy funky calculations for it. Oh, actually, yeah, I like that. I like if we have it like, what if we have it just like, oh no, where were we at 60? Just like bring it in, but then yeah, because that really makes the edges glow. It's good. 0, -5. I think we're gonna have the same problem. I mean, that's not that bad, to be honest. And it does like give it a little bit more depth, you know. I think maybe we need to have a little bit more of a between, because that it looks a little bit funky on the plane. No. Oh, yeah, maybe just like a short one like that. Honestly, yeah, because that's not too noticeable on the player, and it kind of just like pairs in with the stuff. But then it does have like a little bit of depth for that. I'm like a little fan cheering here. Ah, thank you, Elena. You're my biggest fan. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Kind of makes all of them glow, which is kind of cool. A little bit more of a thing. I don't know what that like. You see on the left there. Oh wait, I'm kind of covering it up. Or like on the right, you can see that it's kind of like those visual glitches that's happening on the shoreline. Oh, I wonder if it's because similar to how it was like cutting out the it like you weren't here for this, Alina, but like the shore foam mask, this one here, we had to clamp out the smallest value and the largest value. And I think that might just kind of bring it in so it's not like fighting for stuff. Oh yeah, you can see it is still doing it, but just like a little bit less. So if I just bring it to 0.1, oh maybe 0.5, just because we're working in between 0 to 1. So what's alpha test? Oh, manual alpha test. This here. So basically, I'm so glad you asked, Alina. I can give you a little some info dumping of some things that I find really interesting. So this is how shaders work. So this looks really confusing, but it's actually really cool and interesting. So basically, uh, when you are working with like shaders like, and a shader is like what color to render a pixel, right? So a lot of them are based on, and well, they're yeah, a big portion of them are masks. So it's so if you imagine like an image like this, right, where it's you've got your mask and it'll be like a white square with a black circle in the middle, right? If I and these values, it's white is 1 and then black is 0. So what you can do is there's this thing called a lerp, which is a funny word, but it stands for linearly interpolate. so alert. And that means that between 0 and 1, you can assign other values depending on an alpha, and this is your alpha, so your 0 to 1 is your alpha, and this would be called an alpha mask because it's a texture or an image or a rendering thing that only goes between black and white. And so you could say if for example, let's do, so say, fuck. Okay, fuck. Okay, so say you have A is at 0 and then Z is at 1, right? So if I was to input a mask that like it's like a grayscale, so it goes from 0 to 1 at like a constant rate, then as I progress up the thing, it will interpolate between A to Z. So it'll go A, B, C, D, E, and so on until we get to Z at 1. And so that just lets you interpolate between two different values. The thing. So to give an example here, let's take one of my masks. So let's take the DF mask, which is a distance field mask. And if I plug that into the base color and into the emission color, so this is our mask for the foam of the water, right? And it's just going to black to white. And then if I get a lerp and I use that as our alpha, then if I just get two colors here, let's do pink and let's do yellow. And if I plug that into one side of it and then that one into the other side of it, then you can see it's kind of going between them now. Now, if I apply it, you'll see that whatever was black is pink, and whatever was white is now this yellowy color. And that is all that all of this is doing, right? It's just figuring out what things should be black and white, and then this is just this coloring things. Like all of these, you'll see this is just alert between. Oh wait, we'll go from the start. So this is just alert between one color and another color, and then this is just alert between those two things and a new color, and then this is just alert between those things and a new color, and you just kind of like add it on and on, layer and layer it until you have your final thing. So that is what an alpha mask is, and they're really common in all aspects of games. They're really common in programming as well. So like, say if you have like a throttle on a car, then like if you're not holding the button, that's at 0, and then as you like hold the trigger down, then when the trigger gets down fully pressed, then that's 1, and then you can interpolate between two values. So say like when I'm at 0, I'm at no acceleration, and then when I'm at like full pressed it down, so that when I'm at 1, then I'm at like 200 meters per second, whatever it is. So so alphas are really important for programming and games. And that's a bit of that. So I'm pretty happy with our watershed at the moment. And then if we look here, let's go into the optimization view mode and go shader complexity. You can see that it's actually not bad. Before it was completely white. Alina, you should have seen the shader beforehand. It was the water was completely white, which is not good. Not good. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. It is not good. But now it's actually fine. And you know, because it takes up such a large portion of the view, I don't mind it being like not the most optimized, because that's kind of the trade-off, you know. It's like we want it to look good. So it's gonna and because we want it to look good, and we want it to look good because it takes up a large portion of the game, you know. It's like what you're flying over and seeing all this stuff. So we want to make sure that it looks nice. And we're able to do that because we That's just one of the trade-offs. So one thing that I want to do is the this guy is the outline. Sorry, because if you look here, when we walk into the thing, the outline actually isn't being rendered anymore. That's interesting. Oh, because it's also in the custom render target, which is true. Okay, we can tick off optimize water shader. That is optimized. Taking a little while. Refraction doesn't matter. We're not doing that anymore because it's. I now want to do the water outline. So I want it currently. Oh, actually, it's not that bad because when you go under, you can. It just has the normal kind of like thing on it, which is fine. Yeah, because before it was rendering the outline through the water, and now it's not, which is actually so fine. I do want like some ripples, like when you're moving around, so it kind of like ripples out. Um, but that's for another time. Okay, we're done with the water now. We're gonna. Oh, actually, we've been streaming for 3 hours. I might call it there. Actually, um, that was a good stream for us, gang. I went over the shader that we. Let's just close out of that. Table of it. Okay, so we went over how I did this shader, how I made it look, stuff like that, and then we went to improving this water shader, which I think looks pretty nice now. It was still looking nice beforehand, but I think it looks a lot more performant. Oh, that little visual bug! You see that like by that little house? That's annoying me. Um, but it looks nice now. And it's way more performant. The trade-off is that we don't get like visuals of like we can't see what's underneath the water, but I think that's okay. That's not so bad. Um, it kind of is reminiscent of like this older style games anyway, so I think that we can sacrifice that. Um, and there's workarounds that we can do for that. So we have a little fly as well. See how it looks when we fly. Yeah, see that like that doesn't look so bad, like because it is just like blue water, but like when you're flying this high up, it's actually so fine. Ooh, and like still being able to see that like the shore distance is actually pretty nice because you can because that kind of looks like depth, right? But because there's nothing else in the water, then it's actually fine, and it's not scaling with distance like the other stuff is. So it actually looks quite nice. And then it comes in when yeah, it's a nice kind of like fake depth. You know what I mean? I like that a lot. I don't know why. It's like it's ticking like that. That's really annoying. It's like got all of the things on it. Also, I want to increase the like I think the color for the outline shader is a little bit mucky. Let's get the outlines. It's a bit dark. I feel like it. Oh, it's an outside.
Oh, wait, hey, no, that's fine because we're going to be working on the cell shading for that anyway. It, well, there's a camera here. Oh, it's the plane. Yeah, maybe like that a little bit more tan, kind of like mid-tone kind of thingy. Yeah, I think that works a little bit. It's a little bit softer. And I do actually kind of like how, like, if I'm coming in like this, the like the outline of the stuff does actually like come in afterwards. You know, like you kind of see the like the color for it, and then oh wait, hold on, sorry, be dark, yes. Um. Anyway, I think that will be me for now. I need to figure out that flickering bug, so let's um fix flickering bug. Then I've got to work on the landscape material. I'm also going to um ah, hey I'm also going to try optimize the sky material because currently if we look in the where is it? That's quite bad, and I think we can optimize it a bit more. We'll have a little play. And also I need to redo the landscape material too. Actually, I can do that really quickly right now because a big portion of the landscape we're not even fucking using anymore. Let me do that in like 5 seconds. Okay, watch this. Watch this shit. This is gonna fucking take a massive chunk out of this shit. It's because we have this water caustics for this wet sand, but you can't even see it anymore. So all of this shit can basically go. Um, okay, and now if we go into here, yep, that's all gone. Uh, yeah. Now if I go, see that it was like a dark red. Now it's brown, and that's okay because once again the landscape you're going to see a lot of that. Holy shit, is that just the leaves on that red? That's crazy. I might be able to simplify this again. I will be doing more work on that when I so optimize the sky, optimize this. Ooh, that's because we have a painting system on it, so you can paint it, but we're not using it, so Loki, that doesn't need to be that complicated. Um, but yes, thank you everybody for stopping by the stream. It was more of a chill stream, just me figuring out stuff for Coastal Postal. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you all. Oh, we'll go a big cam. I hope you all. My hair is such a mess, man. I need a haircut or something. I'm looking pretty rugged. And my mustache. Yeah, my like razor died. No, it didn't die. It like what is it? My like shaver thing. I can't find the charging cable for it. So, and I'm afraid that I'll